so many instructions on this matter. It is also an offense to be inattentive while chanting. Every devotee who claims to be a Vaishnava must guard against these offenses in order to quickly achieve the desired success, Krishna Prema. So once again, I thank everyone for joining the conference call. Let us move on to the next session, which is Srimad Bhagavatam class. May I know who are joining the call today?
Hare Krishna, Bhagavati Vasudha Mataji, Sukhakar Krishnadas from Chennai. Thank you for allowing me to join your Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Sukhakar Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavas Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandvat Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. This is Arvind Dakshadas from Chicago. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Arvindax Prabhuji, Dandavas Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you, Prabhuji, for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Bhagavati Vasudha Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and all the assembled devotees. This is Indulekha Karna Devi Dasi from Lincoln.
Hare Krishna, Indulekha Karna Mataji, Dandavas Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you, Mataji, for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Bhagavati Vasudha Mataji, all glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. My humble obeisances to you and all the devotees. This is Krishna Kumari Devi Dasi from Raleigh.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Kumari Mataji, Dandavas Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you, Mataji, for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, may I know? Is there anyone who would like to introduce on the call today?
Hare Krishna,
Krishna Mataji.
Go ahead, Mataji. Hare Bol Mataji, Danvat Pranams. This is Revati Priya Devidasi from United Kingdom.
Hare Krishna, Revati Priya Mataji, Dandavas Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you, Mataji, for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Shri Guru and Gauranga and all the assembled devotees. Yashamati from Chicago.
Hare Krishna, Yashamati Mataji, Dandavas Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you, Mataji, for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Okay. Of you once again. Thank you everyone for joining today's Bhakti Sangha conference call. Today we are really fortunate to have Gaurvilas Prabhuji to enlighten us on the topic of setting the mood for Janmastami. Before I hand over the call to Prabhuji, I would like to hand over the call to Tiffany Mataji for the brief introduction. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. This morning, as Mataji said, we have with us His Grace Gaurvilas Prabhuji. Prabhuji came to Krishna consciousness in 2004, and he earned a MBBS degree from Grant Medical College. Gaurvilas Prabhuji joined the ashram in 2010, and he was initiated as a disciple of His Holiness Janmastami Maharaj in 2012. Gaurvilas Prabhuji preaches in various medical and engineering colleges, and he also conducts programs for doctors at Bhaktivedanta Hospital and in corporate environments. He is a teacher of Bhakti Shastri and Bhakti Vaibhav courses, and he also conducts congregational programs in Mumbai and Maharashtra. Gaurvilas Prabhuji has done thorough studies of Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, and Chaitanya Charitamrita, and we're so fortunate to have him with us today. Hare Krishna.
Krishna, thank you. Thank you so much, Mataji, for that brief introduction. Looks like Prabhuji is yet to join, so we will wait for some time.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Vinita Gandharvika Devidasi from Texas College Station.
Hare Krishna, Vinita Gandharvika Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you, Mataji, for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्ण भगवती वसुधा माता जी, दंडवत प्रणाम। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, गुरु महाराज की जय, प्रीतिदासी। हरे कृष्ण।
Hare Krishna Priti Mataji, Dandavas Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you Mataji for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्ण।
Hare Krishna Sukhakar Prabhu. Do you want to sing a bhajan, Prabhuji?
Yes, I'll make the mood for Krishna coming.
Yes, thank you so much, Prabhu.
Krishna, 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 Hey. Krishna, 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 Hey. Krishna Keshava, Krishna Keshava, Krishna Keshava Pahi Mam. Rama Raghava, Rama Raghava, Rama Raghava, Rakshamam. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Mama Mana Mandire Raho Nishidi Krishna Murari, Krishna Murari, Bhakti Priti Mala Chandan, Bhakti Priti Mala Chandan, Tumi niyo he niyo Chitanandan, Jibana Marana Tabe Puja Nibedan, Sundaro he Manohari. Hare Krishna, Gaurvilas Prabhu ki jai ho. Just keeping the time. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you so
Happy
much.
Janmastami. Please give a blessing, Prabhu. Gaurvilas, please give a blessing. Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Dandavad Pranam.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna,
Thank you
Prabhuji.
much.
Please accept all of our humble obeisances. Thank you, Prabhuji, for giving your time and association. Yes, Prabhuji, we are done with the introduction. You can please take over the call, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Prabhuji, we can't hear you.
Hare Krishna. Okay.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. So thank you, Mataji. We'll begin with our prayers. Om Jnanatimidandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namosute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमः ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी इति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. So welcome everyone. Thank you for this opportunity to serve. So today we'll be discussing something about the appearance of Lord Krishna. So what should be the mood and how we should take this festival of the appearance of the unborn, the birth of the unborn, the Supreme Lord Krishna. In the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, Kunti Maharani, she is offering beautiful prayers to Lord Krishna as he is leaving for Dwarka. In that, she tells some reasons why Krishna appears. And one of the reasons she says is Krishna appears for establishing the principles of devotional service. She begins by telling that some people, Kechidaho rajam jatam punya shlokasya kirtaye yado priyasyan bhavaye malayas eva chandanam. Some people say that, oh my Lord, you appear. Kechid ahu. Some people say, ajam jatam, you're unborn, you have appeared by punya shlokasya kirtaye, to glorify the pious kings like Yudhishthir Maharaj, devoted kings like Yudhishthir Maharaj. Some people say yadohu priyasyan vavaye. Some people say that he is born to please King Yadu, one of his descendants, one of his ancestors, the devotee, pure devotee of the Lord. And she says that actually you appear in the family of Yadus, just like the sandalwood appears in the Malaya hill. Then she says, actually other people, they say that you appear because Vasudev and Devaki prayed for you. Apare Vasudevasya Devakyam Yachito Bhyagat Ajastvamasya Shemaya Vadhaya cha Suradvisham. Some people say Apare Vasudevasya. Some people say that Vasudev and Devaki, they prayed that you please appear as their son. Yachito, they begged. Ajastvamasya Shemaya, therefore, although you are unborn, you appear for their welfare, to show mercy to these two devotees who appeared. Some people say, Vadhaya cha Suradvisha. Some people say you appear to kill those who are envious of the Devatas. Yadohu priyasyan vavai. So first is, some people say Krishna appears because he wants to glorify the devotee kings like Yudhishthir. Others say he appears to please Yadu Maharaj. In his dynasty he appeared. Others say he appears to please Devaki and Vasudev. Others say you appear to destroy the enemies of the demigods. So Krishna, he appears for so many reasons. He appears to glorify his devotees. Krishna is Sarva Saundarya Sangraham. And the most beautiful aspect of the Lord is he likes to glorify his devotees. That's why he appears. He becomes the chariot driver of Arjun. He told Hanuman, you go and find Sita. He wanted to glorify Hanuman. He could have done it himself also. Krishna, he killed some few demons in Vrindavan, and these demons were not so famous. But the most powerful demons, Duryodhan and all the Kauravas, Krishna told Arjuna and all the Pandavas, you kill them. He wants to give credit to his devotees. Others say, oh my Lord, you appear because Brahmaji prayed for you. Bharavatarnayanye bhuvo nava ivo dadao sidantya bhuri bharena jato hi atma bhavarthitah. Some people say, when there was too much burden of demoniac people on the earth, Bhara, it was like the boat which was overburdened. This Bhumandal, Mother Earth, was overburdened by the bhar of demoniac people. Then you appeared because Brahmaji prayed. Aja. Aja means Bharavatarnayanye bhuvanava yoda sidantya bhuri bharena jato hi atma bhuva. Atma bhu means Brahmaji prayed for you. That's why you appeared. But then she says, all these are not the primary reasons for your appearance, oh my Lord. Then what is the primary reason of your appearance? She tells the reason. She tells the secret. Why Lord appears in this world. And this is what we should meditate on. And this is what we should try to fulfill. To come up to this expectation of Lord Krishna as we are celebrating Janmastami, we should try to judge, am I fulfilling the purpose of Krishna's appearance in this world? Why Krishna comes again and again in this world? For insignificant living entities? Why? In the first chapter of the first canto, when Shaunaka rishis, they ask Sut Goswami, why Krishna appears from the womb of Devaki? Sut Goswami says, only for one purpose, to reclaim the fallen conditioned souls. How to reclaim the fallen conditioned souls? What are the various ways Krishna wants to reclaim people, all the living entities? There is only one purpose. Living entities, since millions of lifetimes, they are suffering in this deep dark well of material existence. It is like a blind person falling down in this deep dark well. And if a person has to come out of this well, somebody has to throw a rope from above. In this deep dark well of material existence, we are running in the forest of material existence, first of all. And there is a beautiful prayer by Kulakshekar Maharaj. Andhasya merita vivek mahadhanasya chaurei prabho balivirindriya namadheyaha mohandakupa kuhare vinipatitasya devesha dehi prapanasya karavalambam. Oh my Lord, I am blind. Andhasya me. How a living entity can become blind? You know what is a vision of living entity? What is our vision? We don't see with our eyes. We see with our intelligence. And intelligence gives us the power of discrimination. Vivek Shakti is given by the Lord, by intelligence, comes from intelligence. So Kulakshekar Maharaj is saying, oh my Lord, I have become blinded. Why? My vision of Vivek is lost. Andhasya me Rita Vivek. Rita means it is abducted. Who has abducted? Who has kidnapped? There are very powerful thieves. Chaurei Prabho Balibhirindriya Namadheyaha. My senses, they are the thieves. My senses have stolen away my intelligence. And because I am blind, I am being chased by tiger, snake, tiger of time is chasing me. I am running And if a blind person runs in the forest, what will happen? He doesn't know where is ditch, where is the path. He falls down in a well. And in that deep, dark well, there is no water. The well is full of snakes. What are these snakes? These snakes are snakes of desires. We are fallen in this dark well and we are bitten by the snakes of desires. They are constantly biting. Every moment the living entity is fainting because of this poison which is entering the body of a living entity. Manasi japani jushte labda patosmi dushte timirgahan rupe hanta sansara kupe ajit nikhil raksha hetu sansara daksha upanayamam haste bhakti rajyo namaste. Another beautiful prayer from Padyavali Rupa Goswami is writing. Manasi ja, that which takes birth from the mind. Manasi ja. Ja means to take birth. What takes birth from the mind? The desires. Manasi ja phani jushte. And the snake of desires, they have bitten me. And therefore I am now in this deep dark well, suffering. It is complete darkness everywhere. Timiragahana rupe. Hanta sansara pupe. In this deep dark well of material existence, there is only darkness. Darkness of ignorance. Ignorance that I am not this body, I am soul. I am Jivera Surupuhoe, Krishnera Nityadas. We have forgotten this. Timiragahana rupe, hanta sansara pupe. Oh my Lord, you are Ajita. You are unconquerable. And you are Daksha. You are expert in protecting your devotees. Therefore, please give me this rope of devotion. Ajita Nikhil Raksha, Hetu Sansara Daksha, Upanaya Mama Haste, in my hands, please give this rope of devotion. And that's why Lord appears in this world. The real reason for the appearance of the Lord is not to fulfill the desires of the Yadu, not to glorify the kings, not to fulfill the prayers of Brahma. They are the secondary reasons, of course. What is the primary reason? He wants to give this rope of devotion in the hands of each and every living entity. That's why he appears. No other reason for appearance. This is the primary reason. Kunti Maharani also says, Bhavesmin klishyamanana avidya kama karmabhi Shravana smarana arahani karishyaniti kechana. Bhave asmin, this material world, klishyamananam, living entities are suffering. Why they are suffering? Because of this avidya. This ignorance is troubling us. Because if we are not ignorant of who we are and how much property I have, then for sure I'll be disturbed. For sure I'll not be able to do what I can. Klishyamanam, that's why I'm suffering in this world. Avidya. And because of the ignorance and kama karma, because of the desire to enjoy, this desire never goes. And Krishna, he knows, people will suffer. This body is made like that by Brahmaji to make us suffer. Brahmaji has not made this body so that we can enjoy. Brahmaji has made this body perfectly imperfect. There is no scope for enjoyment. It is made so that we suffer. Brahmaji himself says that, oh, I am so very sorry to see the plight of the living entities of this world. They are suffering from inside, from outside, mentally. Everywhere suffering is there. Hunger, thirst, kapha, vata, pitta, always disturbed. Inside problem. Externally, Sheet, Ushna, Vata, Varsha, Itaretaracha, heat, cold, rains, wind. That's not sufficient. Kamagnina, Achyutarusha. The fire of desire is burning. An insatiable anger. Sudurbharena, Sampashyato Manarukramasidate. He says, I am really sad to see the conditions of living entity. People are suffering. Brahmaji has made this body so that we can suffer. Why he is so sadistic? So that we understand that this place is not the place we are supposed to be. This is a place where we can understand why I am suffering. And get out of this material world. And for this one purpose, Lord appears. Bhavesmin klishyamananam avidya kamakarmabhi shravana smarana arahani. You come to rejuvenate the process of hearing, remembering, and worshipping. That is the real reason. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur writes, this is the real reason for Lord's appearance, no other reason. Because people are suffering in this world, and Lord, as a very, very merciful Father, he can't see his children suffering. And therefore, he comes again and again in so many ways, in so many forms, to just reclaim the fallen conditioned souls. Shrinavanti gayanti grananti abhikshnasha smaranti nandanti tabe hitam jana ta eva pashyantya chirena tavakam bhava pravaho paramam padambujam. What is the power of devotional service? How potent is this process? Shrinavanti, by hearing, gayanti, by chanting, grananti, by applying, shrinavanti, gayanti, grananti. For some time, no, abhikshnashaha, continuously. Not only that, smaranti, hearing, remembering, smaranti. Nandanti, when we see other devotees advancing, that is also very important limb of devotional service. In being happy, when we see other devotees advancing in Krishna consciousness, when we feel happy, that is also very important to advance in Krishna consciousness. We should be happy. Nandanti tave hitam. When we see other devotees advancing, we should be happy. So when we do the first two lines of this verse, Shrinvanti, Gayanti, Nandanti, Tavehitam, then what will happen? Ta eva pashyanti. That person can see Krishna very quickly. Ta eva pashyantya chirena tavakam achirena. It will not take much time for him. It will happen very quickly. Achirena. Bhavapravaha uparamam. For him, the waves of material existence will cease to exist. It will not trouble him. Bhavapravaho paramam padambujam. So the Lord may appear for many reasons. But we have to understand why Lord appears. The primary reason for the appearance of the Lord is Lord wants to give this process of devotional service. And if somebody wants to give what he is expecting, just take it. And on top of that, if the person is giving free of cost, so then how much we should be careful to accept it and take to our heart's content. That's what Krishna tells when he appears as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. It comes in the Adi Lila, 8th chapter, Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Lila, 8th chapter, where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is described as Bhakti Kalpa Vriksha. And in this Bhakti Kalpa Vriksha, beautifully, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, what is the thought process of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? He says, I am one gardener. Ekamala karanami kaha kaha yava. Ekalava kataphala padiya vilava. I am a single gardener. I am one person. How many trees, how many fruits will I eat? How many fruits will I distribute? I can't distribute all these fruits alone. These fruits are so sweet. Pakilai amrita phal. These fruits are so sweet. Amrit. And I am distributing it without taking any price. Please help me. So when Lord appears in this world, he wants to give this process of devotional service. And he expects only one thing. Please take it. And that will satisfy the Lord. That will please the Lord. That's why Lord appears in so many forms. He appears as Guru. He appears as devotees. He appears as Bhagavatam, scriptures. He appears as Archavigraha. He appears as Mahaprasad. And he appears as Avatar. Only for one purpose. To give this process of devotional service. To make our faith strong in the process of devotional service. To give us faith in the process of devotional service. To make one fearless in this path of devotional service. Living entities are fearful. In fact, everyone in this world is fearful. Everything in this world is happening because of fear. Everything. There is beautiful verse by King Bhartrihari. It comes in Vairagya Shatak. He says there are 9 reasons for different people to be fearful. Bhogi roga bhayam kule chuti bhayam vitte nipalad bhayam mane dainya bhayam baler bhayam rupe jaraya bhayam shastre vadi bhayam gune kal bhayam kaye kritantad bhayam sarvam vastu bhayanvitam bhuvinanam vairagyameva bhayam. Bhogi, a person wants to enjoy things, he is fearful of roga, disease. Kule chuti bhayam, a person who has taken birth in high family, he is fearful of being ostracized. Bhogi roga bhayam kule chuti bhayam. Vitte nripalat, a person who is rich is fearful of king, he'll take tax. A person who is praised, he is fearful of insult. A person who is very strong, he is fearful of another stronger person. Bale ripu bhayam. Rupe jaraya bhayam. A person who is beautiful, fearful of old age. Shastre vadi bhayam. A person who is intelligent, he is fearful of debate. He'll be defeated. He may be defeated. A person who is having good qualities, gune khal bhayam. He is fearful of a sinful person. A person who is attached to body, he is fearful of death. Kaye kritanta bhayam. In this way, everyone is fearful of something. How to be fearless? He says, Vairagyam eva abhayam. There's only one thing which gives fearlessness. Vairagya. When we become detached from possessive mentality. How to develop this detachment? Prabhupada Saraswati says, Vairagya vidya nij bhakti yoga shikshartamekam purusha purana Shri Krishna Chaitanya Shariradhari Kripam Buddhi Yastamaham Prapadye. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has come to give this Vairagya Vidya. This process of devotional service, it is the Vairagya Vidya. Nij Bhakti. Lord has come and he's given his own devotional service. So all the avatars, all the various forms of Krishna's expansions, they appear for one purpose, to make us devoted to this process of bhakti, no other purpose, so that we can become fearless. Because a fearful person cannot do anything in this world. He is destroyed by fear itself. A devotee is fearless. He's never fearful of anything because he knows that Krishna is there to protect me. Avashya rakshibe Krishna iti vishwasa palan. That's the faith a devotee has. And that's the faith Krishna wants to instill in each and every devotee. That's why he appears. It is described in the 10th canto when the 6 garbhas of Devaki are killed very cruelly by Kamsa. And then Balramji appears. Balramji is transferred to the womb of Rohini. There, a beautiful verse is spoken by Shukadeva Goswami. He says, after this, Lord himself appeared in the mind of Vasudeva. Bhagavan Vishwatma Bhaktanam Abhayankaraha. Abhayankaraha. Lord is Vishwatma. He appears why? Bhaktanam Abhayankara. He appears to give fearlessness to his devotees. Aviveshamsha bhagena mana anakadundubhe. Lord appeared in the mind of Vasudeva. When somebody is in touch with Krishna, he is fearless. Shureshwar Prabhu, one of the Prabhupada disciples, he is moving around in the world, giving this seminar on founder Acharya, establishing the importance of accepting Srila Prabhupada as the founder. Recognizing, already we have accepted that we know he's our founder, but what it means to be founder. So he was telling us that one time a devotee, she brought her brother to meet Prabhupada, and he was not so much favorable. So he was asking some challenging questions. So he said, so what is this love of God which you are feeling? Prabhupada said, this is the love of God one experiences when we chant. What is this love of God? Prabhupada said, oh, what is this love of God you are asking? I feel fearless when I chant. I am not afraid of anything. That is the result of bhakti practice. Fearless. Because Mare Krishna Rakhe Krishna Mare ke. If Krishna wants, who can kill you? If Krishna wants, who can save you? So that's how, as Prahlad Maharaj says, oh my Lord, if you neglect someone, even parents can't protect their child. Even doctors cannot save the patient. A boat cannot take a person across the ocean if that person is neglected by you. Balasya neha sharanam pitarau narasimha nartasya jagadamudanvati majjato nau taptasya tat pratividhirya ihanja sheshta tavad vibhotanubhritam tadupekshitanam. If you do upeksha, if you neglect someone, oh my Lord, there is no hope for that person. So that's how we have to understand the process of devotional service makes one fearless. That's what Krishna wants to give. Krishna wants devotees to be fearless. That's why he appears in this world. To prove to the whole world that I am ready to do anything to protect my devotees. What does I need to fear? That's why he performs so many pastimes. Protecting devotees. Krishna entered in the womb of Devaki. From the mind of Vasudeva to mind of Devaki, and then from the mind to the womb of Devaki. And as Krishna entered the womb of Devaki, she became effulgent, brilliant. Kamsa had never seen such beauty. She became really beautiful. And Kamsa thought, I I know that my enemy has entered the womb of Devaki. I cannot kill her now. And Devaki, she became really effulgent. And she was so beautiful. Kamsa had never seen her so beautiful. Sa Devaki sarva jagan nivasa nivasa bhutam nitaram nareje bhojendra gehe agni shikhe varuddha saraswati jnana khale yatha sati. She became effulgent. That Supreme Lord who is Jagan Nivasa, Devaki became the Nivas of that Supreme Lord. She was looking like a fire which is covered by smoke. And Devaki was so happy, so effulgent. And all the Devatas are coming and they're offering their prayers to Devaki. One of the beautiful verses these Devatas speak that they say is, my Lord, there are some impersonalists, they may go to Parampada. Prabhupada would quote this verse many times. Yanya Arvindaksha Vimuktamaninas Tvayasta Bhava Avishuddha Buddhaya. These impersonalists, they may go to highest destination of Brahma Jyoti, but what will happen? Aruhya Krichrena. They attain the highest position, but Patanti Adha, they again fall down because they don't take shelter of Lord Lotus feet. And then they say, oh my Lord, your devotees also fall down. But your devotees, they don't fall down like materialists or jnanis or yogis. That's the difference between the devotee falling down and other people falling down. We should not be fearful of fall down. We should not fall away. It is natural to fall down in the path of Krishna consciousness, because when we are beaten by our anarthas, if we are not strong, it is natural that we'll fall down. But don't worry, we should not be so much regretful. We should repent. But that repentance should make us more stronger in bhakti. Many times, devotees, they go away from bhakti in guilty consciousness. I can't do it. I'm so hypocrite. I can't practice this simple process of bhakti. I don't think it is for me. Krishna is saying, don't worry, just get up and walk again. Devatas, they are saying, oh my Lord, your devotees, they don't fall down like Mayavadis or Gyanis. Tathana te madhavatavaka kvachit bhrashyanti marga tvai baddha saurida tvaya bhigupta vicharena nirbhaya vinayikani kapamurdhasu prabho. Tathana te, O Madhava, your devotees, they fall down, not like Gyanis. Brashyanti marga, they may get deviated, but because they are attached to you, Baddha Saurida, they are affectionate. Very soon they cross over this ocean of material existence. That is the power of devotional service. So this should give us faith. This should give us fearlessness. And nothing will happen. I may fall down, no problem. I'll get up and walk again. And that is the reason for appearance of the Lord in this world, to give us confidence. I'm there. If a small child is walking with his father and he sees some of his friends who always tease him, always trouble him, when he sees that now my father is there with me, so he feels fearless. That is how devotee feels, fearless. He is not fearful of anything because he knows that, okay, no problem. Whatever may happen, Krishna is there. In Nectar of Instruction, in third verse, Utsaha, Nishchay, Dhairya, these are the 6 favorable things. Prabhupada, he writes a very, very wonderful purport to this in that Nectar of Instruction. He says, Why we should be confident? Nishcha means confident. Why we should be confident of the process of bhakti? Because of 6 reasons. First, he says is bhakti is a path of perfection. It is the life and soul of living entity. And Lord wants to prove it. That's why he appears in this world. To prove to the whole world how perfect the process of bhakti is. Even a person like Bhishma, who is on the bed of arrows, he can practice bhakti. There is no restriction to the path of Krishna consciousness. It will surely give perfection. And that's the faith Prabhupada had. One time Prabhupada was in America in the beginning days, and he met a gentleman from India. And this man asked, by this time he had nothing. Prabhupada had nothing. No followers, no institution, nothing. Just beginning days. So he said, oh, Swamiji, you are preaching here? Prabhupada said, yes. I have disciples. We have temples all over the world. We have a famous singer who is chanting Hare Krishna on a record, and that is worldwide. Our magazine is selling thousands all over the world. And in fact, none of this had happened yet. Can you imagine the vision Prabhupada had? How Prabhupada knew a famous singer will be chanting this Hare Krishna? That is the vision of a pure devotee. That is the, faith a devotee has. That's how Krishna inspires a devotee, a pure devotee, and of course, every devotee. Many times we underestimate the process of Krishna consciousness. We don't understand actually how powerful this process is. And that's why Krishna comes to prove to us. This path of bhakti is not an ordinary thing which you are practicing. This is the most powerful thing available in this material world. It is powerful. It is path of perfection. It is the path which is all powerful. There is nothing as powerful as the process of bhakti in destroying our anarthas and in destroying our inclinations and conditions. That's what Parikshit Maharaj asked Shukdev Goswami in the end of the 5th canto, when Shukdev Goswami described the hellish planets. Parikshit Maharaj, as a compassionate Vaishnava, he asked, how will these people get delivered? They are suffering. Shukdev Goswami said, they'll do prayaschitta, they'll do atonement. I said, no. What is this atonement? This is elephant bathing. They will do prayashchit, and again they will do sin. What is this? Manye kunjara shauchavat. No, that is not the right way. Shukdev Goswami says, okay, they'll practice jnana, tapasa, brahmacharyena, shamena cha, damena cha, tyagena, satya, shauchabhyam, all these things they'll do. It is like forest being burnt by the fire. Parikshit says, what is the use? Next rainy season, forest will come up again because the roots are still there. Then Shukdev Goswami says, Kechit kevalaya bhaktya vasudeva parayana agham dhunvanti kartsnina niharam bhaskara. Just like when the sun rises, the fog completely gets dissipated. Similarly, this process of devotional service completely destroys sinful reactions and sinful proclivities also. It is a path of protection, which is so very powerful. Another thing which Prabhupada says, bhakti is the only means for complete protection. Avashya rakshibe Krishna iti vishwasa palan. That's why Lord appears and performs so many pastimes to prove to the whole world that my devotee will always be protected. You don't have to go anywhere. You don't have to go to any devata. You don't have to worship any devata. You don't have to follow any other paths. You don't have to take shelter of anything. In Nectar of Devotion, Rupa Goswami writes, one of the limbs of the bhakti, 64 limbs, he says, one should have that faith that I will not go to any other thing. I will not take shelter of any other devata. I'll not I'll not go to astrology. I'll not go to any other thing. I just depend on Krishna. That is the faith Lord wants every one of us to have. And that is a process. The more we develop this faith, the more we come close to Krishna. Neha Vikramanashosti Pratyavayo na vidyate. There is no loss in this path. All the Brajvasis, whenever they would be in danger, they would remember one verse spoken by Gargacharya. So Gargamuni, when he had come to to give names to Krishna and Balram, that time he had told all the Brajvasis that this son of yours, he will deliver you from all the problems. Eshava Shreya Dhasyat Gopa Gokulanandana Anena Sarva Durgani Yuya Manjastarishyata. That was not just an instruction given to Brajvasis, it is for all of us also. When we allow Krishna to enter in our lives, we should have that faith. There may be many powerful demons which may come in our lives. Many turmoils may come in our lives. But all Brajvasis had that faith. Anena sarva durgani yuya manjastarishyata. Very easily will cross. That is a faith our devotee has. That we take shelter of Krishna only, not anyone else. In Aghasur Leela, Aghasur Vad, when all the cowherd boys, they are in the forest with Krishna, they see a huge something looking like a python. And they see, is it an amusement park or something? Somebody has put this creature. Is it alive? Or is it, something made for all of us so that we can play? They're confused. They're talking among themselves. Asman kimatra grasita nivashtan. He says, what is this creature? Has he come to swallow all of us? Asman kimatra grasita nivashtan. Ayam tatha chet vakavad vinangshati. If he does so, he'll be destroyed just like Bakasur. Shanadane bakaru shanmukham vikshodha santa karataranayayu. And in a moment, Krishna is standing a little far. He's looking all these boys, and these boys, they are looking at beautiful face of Krishna, and they are clapping and they are singing, and they enter the mouth of Aghasur, clapping, singing, dancing. Uddhasantaha, laughing loudly. Shukdev Goswami says, when these cowherd boys, they entered the mouth of Krishna, Krishna became bewildered. These boys had complete faith in Krishna. They were doing anything. They had no fear. He says they were thinking, if this person tries to do any harm, Shanad aneneti bakari, he'll be killed like Bakasur. That is a faith a devotee has. What will happen? Whatever is happening in my life, ultimately Krishna will take care of it. And Shukdev Goswami says, Krishna becomes bewildered. Tan Vikshya Krishna Sakala Bhaya Prado Hiranyanathan Swakarada Dinam Shamrityo Jataragni Ghasan Granarto Drishtakritena Vismitah. Tan Vikshya Krishna, when Krishna saw That these boys, these friends, they didn't even ask me, you should have asked me first before entering. They just entered. Krishna, who is Sakala Abhayaprada, he gives fearlessness to everyone. And he's seeing that these people, they're my people. And they are going out of his hands. So Karada Vachutan. And Krishna gets confused. Dishta Kritena Vismita. How can Krishna be confused? How can Krishna be bewildered, struck with wonder? That is how Krishna feels when devotees are in danger. He can't tolerate it. That is how, we should have that confidence that whatever happens in my life, Krishna is there. Krishna is personally putting me in this situation. He will take me out of it. Whatever Krishna does, he does it to bring us close to him. That is the faith Krishna wants to develop in his devotees. And that's why he comes and performs so many pastimes. He comes as scriptures. Bhagavatam is full of such stories where devotees, they had complete faith in Krishna. In most difficult situations, they never gave up Krishna. They didn't give up the process of bhakti. Narada, as a small boy, his mother is killed by snake bite. He has faith in Krishna. So bhakti is a path of complete protection. It is a path of complete profit. There is nothing which is more profitable business than this business of bhakti. Prabhupada writes a very, very wonderful line there. Bhakti is so pure and perfect that one is forcibly dragged to success. Few years back, I think 1 or 2 years back, there was a wonderful cartoon which was made by one devotee. And in that, Krishna is dragging a devotee back to Godhead. And this devotee is crying. He's saying, leave me, leave me. It is so very painful. Krishna says, no, I can't leave you. You started the process. So I didn't ask, but you started now. So now things are not in your hand. You have to become purified. One is forcibly dragged to success. Once we are into this process of bhakti, it is a one-way path. We can't go back. Krishna will make sure that we are purified. And many times this purification is not so pleasurable, painful. It is very painful sometimes. And in those situations, we start thinking, what is this happening to me? Why Krishna is putting me in this situation? Why I am, put in that intense trouble? Krishna has a plan. He wants to give something better. When Krishna was sucking the breast of Putana and she was crying, Munch, munch, alamiti prabhashini, nishpidyamana khila jiva marmani. She was crying, she was shouting, screaming, Munch, leave me, child, leave me. Every tender points of Putana was being pressed by Krishna. She was really, really suffering. So many times it happens in our lives also. We are really pressed at our tender points by Krishna. And we may think, what is happening to me? But Krishna has a plan. What Krishna gave to Putana? Aho bakiyam stanakalakutam jigham sayapya yadapya sadhavi lebhe gatim dhatri uchitam tatonyam kamavadayalum sharanam brajema. She came to kill Krishna. Krishna gave her position of his own mother, Dhatri. So it is a path of ultimate profit. There is no other, path better than this path. One should have that faith. And Krishna is doing so many pastimes to prove this one thing, that Krishna will never leave his devotee. Even if devotee thinks enough is enough. I am fed up of all this. It is so very difficult for me to practice. I am getting troubled so much. Krishna will never leave you. Like a small child, he wants to run away and play whole day, but father doesn't allow him to do that. Sei bhakta dhanya jena chhade prabhur charan. Sei prabhu dhanya jena chhade nijajan. Durdaiva sevaka yadi jayanya sthane. Sei prabhu dhanya tare chule dhoriyane. That devotee is so great who never leaves the Lord, and Lord is so wonderful who never leaves the devotee. Somehow, if the devotee goes away, Krishna doesn't allow him to go away. He catches the shikha of the devotee and bring him back. That's how Lord is. So that is the wonderful path of Krishna consciousness. And that's the faith which we should have in this process, that there is nothing more powerful. There is nothing more profitable. There is nothing more pure. There is nothing more perfect. There is nothing more productive than this path of bhakti. And Krishna appears in this world to give us trust and faith in this path of bhakti. Shrinuvanti, Gayanti, Grinanti, Abhikshnasha, Smaranti, Nandanti, Tavehitam Jana. If we do these things, then we'll see Krishna for sure. Taeva Pashyanti. So in this upcoming Janmastami festival, we can pray to the Lord to give us that faith in the process, so that we can also continue in this path of pure devotional service, Anya Bhilashita Shunyam, so that we can keep our desires pure. Shuddha Bhakti we can do. We are doing Shuddha Bhakti, but we should have Shuddha. We should have strong faith also. The process is Shuddha. We are doing Shuddha, pure devotional service. Many times we are not strong in our process, strong in our bhakti. So that's how we should meditate. That's what we should pray, so that we can also become sincere and serious in this path and do what Krishna wants us to do in our lives. So I'll stop here. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Any questions anybody has?
Thank you, Prabhuji, for this wonderful for preparing us for Janmastami. Yes, there is one hand raised. Karpagavalli Mataji, you can ask your question.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you for wonderful class, Prabhu. Prabhu, I want one doubt is there. Budana, the Lord sucked the breast of Budana and he gave her mukti. That Saijya mukti means what is that mukti, Prabhu? That he gave
No, she was not. She was given personal liberation. She became the mother in the spiritual world. Lebhe gatim dhatri. That is a special mercy which Krishna gave to Putana. Generally, the demons which are killed by Krishna, they get Brahman liberation. But Putana was special case. And in fact, Aghasur was also given Sarupya Mukti. So there are some demons who get special mercy. So that's what is mentioned by Acharyas. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur writes that. Aghasur also got Sarupya Mukti. Putana, of course, got position of mother in the spiritual world. So that is mentioned. Okay.
Prabhuji, other thing, as the neophyte devotee and this thing, I haven't got Diksha. That Nama Diksha also I didn't get. But I am chanting 16 to 20 rounds per day, Prabhuji. And I am listening to the Bhagavatam class. What all the Bhagavatam class, maximum I will attend. And then Chaitanya Chardamdam. And then all Prabhupada's books also I am Maximum I'll try to read, Prabhuji. And what you're advising me to improve my devotional service towards in this Janmastami, this thing? Prabhuji, kindly advise me, Prabhuji.
You're already doing so much. Please continue doing. Keep praying to the Lord. You're already doing such wonderful
I'm
bhakti.
having that,
Everything you're
Prabhuji, I'm
doing.
having that eagerness to read. My age is not sufficient. I think I wasted my time so long. I'm nearly 60. I'm going to retire from my service also. Then I'm nearly going to be 60. I'm feeling worried. I cannot complete in my Janma. I cannot read all these books. I'm feeling that was a little bit worried. I want to know. That's why I'm Prabhuji. I'm all listening to all you learned scholars and learned this thing and learning, because I won't have time to read all the books and all. Prabhuji, that is one is I don't know, as I'm not getting Disha, all my prayers, all my this thing will be waste or not, this thing. I'm little bit worried about that, Prabhu.
Mataji, Diksha is the official ceremony. Going back to Godhead doesn't depend on, official Diksha. If you have accepted a spiritual master, that means you are connected. And Krishna is not so much such a person that who will see the externals. He sees the internals. There are many people, even after taking Diksha, they don't do all these things which we are doing. So the eagerness which you have is amazing. That is a price we should pay. We have to pay. It doesn't depend on when one comes to Krishna consciousness, but the eagerness is important. Tatra laulyam api mulyam ekalam janma koti sukritir na labhyate. Otherwise, if we don't have that eagerness which you have, even if somebody does for millions of lifetimes, will not go back to God. So just have this eagerness, do whatever you can to the best of your capacity, and Krishna will take care of the remaining things. It doesn't depend on the externals. Bhakti is apratihata. Nothing external can stop the practitioner to perfect his life or her life. So we have to just be eager and keep praying to Mahaprabhu, keep praying to Guru Parampara, and for sure we will advance, for sure we will, achieve the perfection. There should be no doubt about it. When it will happen, that should not be our, thought process. When will I go back to Godhead? I may go in this life, or if Krishna willing, I don't know when he will take me. But a devotee is not so much concerned with that. He is concerned with seva. If seva is not there,
Yes,
then
Prabhu,
what
same.
is the use of going back to Godhead also? Salokya, Sarishti, Samipya, Sarupya, Ekattam Apyuta, Diyamanam, Na Grihnanti, Vinamat Sevanam Jana. Kapil Dev is telling to Devahuti, my devotee doesn't take any of these liberations if there is no seva there. So a devotee should always have this seva bhava, always eager to hear more, chant more, serve more. So that is what we all have to develop. And for sure, Krishna will take care. That is a faith our devotee has. So when we came to how much time we wasted, that is not the question. If Krishna wants, what is the big thing for him? He can do, just the slap of his finger, he can destroy all our anarthas, all our, conditionings and take us back to God. He is just eager to see, waiting to see the eagerness which we have, which you have. So just continue. You are on the right path, and please pray so that we can also have this eagerness. Speaking is easy, but practicing takes a long time. So thank you for inspiring me also. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for that wonderful answer. Today we were also talking about Krishna first devotees. What they will do is they will come out of fear. So you had helped Mataji to come out of the fear that Krishna is always there. Thank you so much. The next I request Jyoti Techni Mataji, you can ask your question.
Thank you. Hare Krishna Danvat Pranam Mataji. Hare Krishna Danvat Pranam Prabhuji. Prabhuji, I have a couple of questions. I don't need explanation because it will be a lengthy one. Could you just give me some inputs so that I can, read more? My first question is, I think that, as per my understanding, a little understanding, I think that when we are not 100% dedicated to the lotus feet of Krishna and the devotional service or towards devotees, then there is a 100% guarantee that we'll be having that anger, lust, greed in our practice. Means we will be observing it. Is my understanding correct, Prabhuji?
Even if we are practicing sincerely, it is not that these anarthas will not come, because they will come out for sure. It is like cleaning the heart of all the anarthas, and when the cleaning happens, the dust will rise. So it may happen. I think all of us have experienced, after we start practicing bhakti, after few years of practicing, few means it may be 10 years, 15 years, we start thinking, oh my God, my anarthas are increasing, I think. I never experienced such sinful desires. It seems they have increased. That means we are on the right path. We are getting purified. So, of course, anarthas will come out, but we should not get discouraged. We should not justify our anarthas, saying, what I can do? My anarthas are coming out, so I'll become angry. No, that should not be the consciousness. We should be humble enough and we should genuinely repent. And that's how Krishna will purify us gradually of our anarthas. So how Krishna will purify us, that he only knows. But how many years or decades, nobody knows. But only one thing is sure, we are on the right path and we have to continue on this path. That's the only thing which a devotee should know. We should never ever try to analyze, how will I get purified of my anarthas? How many years it will take to purify my anger, greed, lust? Krishna will laugh at us. Because that is not our job. And even if we figure out, it will not happen how we want. That is Krishna's jurisdiction. So we have to just be happy in our struggles. That is more important. We should not be miserable in our struggles. And of course, all the while we should take shelter of devotees. Hare Krishna.
So, Prabhuji, it means that the purification means the purity that might come in our Krishna conscious process. So there is a certain reciprocation that happens with the Lord. So is my understanding correct that when the reciprocation is happening, then there is a certain signs of being pure in our practice, or how that reciprocation should be taken into?
When we get purified, Madhurya Kadambini, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur describes there are various levels of purification which we can see in the life of a practitioner. From anishtita bhajan to nishtita bhajan, from unsteady practice to steady practice. There are 6 things which our devotee experiences. First is utsaha mai. Initially, we see devotees, when they come to Krishna consciousness, they are so enthusiastic. Prabhuji, whatever service you have, you tell me, I'll do. Whenever you tell me, I'll do. And some days they are missing. Where is that devotee? Not seen at all. Kidhar gaya wo? We are searching. And then he comes again, appears after a few days, and he says, Prabhuji, I was in Maya for some time. That is utsahamai. Sometimes up, sometimes down. Then by the practice of bhajan kriya, he gets purified. Then comes the next stage of Ghanatarala. Sometimes he practices intense, condensed devotion. Sometimes he says, "ठीक है, इतनी भी क्या जल्दी है? We'll get purified. अभी ठीक है. I'll not do so intense bhakti." You know, he is like that. Ghanatarala. Then third stage comes. He wants to give up his sense gratificatory activities. He can't do it. Vishaya Sangha. He's not able to give up. Then he gets purified of that also. Now, he is not able to understand how should I practice bhakti? Where should I get situated? Should I get this job or should I enter this ashram or where should I practice? How should I practice? He's confused. That stage also goes. It doesn't go so easily. It may take years and decades for these things to go. And then he comes to the fifth stage of Vyudha Vikalpa. Niyamakshama. Vyudha Vikalpa was the fourth one. Niyamakshama is, I'm sure this must be the experience of many devotees here. I want to increase my standard of bhakti. I'm chanting 16 rounds. I want to chant more. But somehow it doesn't last long. I chant for a few days, again I come back. Nahi hota hai. I want to read every day. But some days I can read, some days it is no entu only. That is Niyamakshama. And then that stage also goes. Now the devotee is very strong. He is known as a wonderful devotee. Then comes the sixth stage of Tarangarangini. The waves of pride, adoration, distinction comes. So these are the various stages of purification. And we should be, introspective and contemplative to watch where are we now, at which stage I am, and try to rise above. So that's how we have to continuously introspect, take shelter of devotees, ask them, and for sure, we'll understand, am I doing right? Am I doing something wrong? So that is how we have to judge ourselves. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. I have written down the teachings, Prabhuji, and when we come to the criticism of devotees, and there was one question that I'm still confused, and there is an envy towards devotees. So, which one is the worst thing, and how we should identify them? Means in our behavior.
See, envy will not go so easy. It is anartha. At our level, we should be careful not to criticize devotees, not to find faults with devotees. That we can definitely avoid. It may come in our mind, but we should not, bring it into our words and action. That is very dangerous. When we start criticizing devotees, then we start going down because Krishna doesn't like it. Krishna is adoshadarshi. That is the aparad which we are doing, and we suffer because of aparad. We don't suffer because of karma. A devotee doesn't suffer because of karma. Devotee suffers because of two reasons. Because of aparad and because Krishna puts them in this situation. That is Krishna's intervening a life of a devotee. Puts them in, various situations of happiness and distress. And because we commit aparad. So criticism is very, very dangerous for a devotee. We should somehow or other avoid it. Never ever hear it or never do it. That is very, very important to understand in devotee community. Otherwise, that we'll lose our faith, we'll lose our enthusiasm to practice. And envy will go very gradually. It is a most difficult thing to go. Even if we hear 10 lectures on how not to become envious, but after the lecture gets over and we see, hey, this devotee is listening better than me, how can that will make us envious? So this process, this envy take lots of time to go away. But we should not act on it. So that is the important. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Dhanvat Pranam Prabhuji. Eternally grateful to you for your teachings. And thank you so much for your teachings for the today's class. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Happy
Krishna.
Teachers Day to you.
Hare Krishna. First, I request Krishna Prabhu, you can ask your question.
Hare Krishna, Gaurvilas, Prabhu, Dhanvat Pranam, Prabhu. Prabhu, about
Hare
this
Krishna.
envy only. Envy, Prabhu, see, in the childhood, when I was in the school, I always come first. So when I come second, suddenly I feel how we came first. I always come first. That is also envy due to competition. So those time, my mother used to say that you should be envious, not envious. You should have the competitive spirit and why you came second. But now in the spiritual life, we find in the scriptures that the envy is something that when other person is having and not, I am not having it. So enviousness means I am trying to judge the action of Krishna. I am envious of somebody means I am envious of Krishna indirectly. That means I am trying to find out why he did better than me. So I think we should be happy with whatever I get. If he does, then also I should be happy because he is also my Vamsa Jival. Okay, I am also part of him. Whether I do or he does, everything is for the pleasure of the Lord and everyone will get the benefit. So I want to know on that, how in the spiritual life, the enviousness is not going completely, but we know where we are going wrong, but still that mind thought process is not gone.
Yeah, as you said, Prabhuji, perfectly right. You said we have to continuously remind ourselves, and that the desire will take a long time to go. We have to remind ourselves of what is the ideal situation, ideal mindset of a devotee. That's what you said, perfectly right. And this envy will not go so easily. Of course, all these anarthas, they take long time to go. Envy is the prime reason we came in this material world. We are envious of Krishna, as you said. So it will not go so easily. We have to just patiently wait for the time to come. There's a verse in the first canto, 5th chapter, about the life of Narad Muni. This is a beautiful verse. And Prabhupada writes in the purport, this is the life of sadhaka in a nutshell. Namanyanantasya hatatrapa pathan guhyani bhadrani kritani cha smaran gamparyatan tushtamanagat spriha kalam pratikshan vimado vimatsara. Beautiful verse. Every word is important.
What is the verse number? Number?
It is, I can tell you. It is first canto, 5th chapter. It is 6th chapter, sorry, 1:6:26.
Okay.
This is 1:6:26. Namani Anantasya. So Narad Muni, he says, I began chanting the holy name and fame of the Lord. Hatatrapa. Hatatrapa means free from the formalities of the world. Oh, this person will say this, that person will say that. Oh, I don't care. And Pathan, I was reading, I was reciting the glories of the Lord. And these glories of the Lord, they are Guhyani, they are very mysterious. Bhadrani, they are benedictory. Kritani Chasmana, I was remembering them also. And what I was doing? Gam Paryatan, I was roaming around. And when we see in the world, roam around in the world, we see, oh, this person is advanced than me. This person has more assets than me. What we should do? Tushtamana, satisfied in heart. Gata Spriha, free from material desires. And the last line is very important. Kalam Pratikshan. We have to wait for the time when Lord will purify us. Kalam pratikshan. Vimado vimatsara. Vimada means we should not become mad seeing others' advancement. Vimado and vimatsara. Don't become envious of them. Just wait for time to come. If we just, Radhanath Swami Maharaj, he was saying in one of the class that if we are just happy seeing other devotees advancing, we advance more than them. Or he said, we advance equally. So we have to have this understanding. Just wait for the time to come. Don't become mad, don't become illusioned, and don't become envious. And even if envy comes in the mind, don't work on it. Just wait for the time. Kalam pratikshan, nothing happens before the time comes. So that is how we have to work. So Prabhupada writes, this verse is the nutshell. The life of a sincere devotee of the Lord is thus explained in a nutshell by Narad Muni by his personal example. Prabhupada writes, life of a sincere devotee of the Lord. Hare Krishna.
But when others are advancing, we feel happy. I always see that Krishna is a tree and Krishna is the root, and we are all amshas. We may be leaf. So when the water goes, you serve better. Anyway, we are part of the tree. We are also growing. So why I should see that he is doing better? I am doing. All are doing good and everything for the Lord. Like that, I'm thinking. But that designation is not. I'm not forgetting. I'm a chartered accountant, retired from Britannia. These are all over. I'm 65-year-old. But those things are still in the back of the mind, and we have to come out of that. That all those things, family, son-in-law, doing good business, all those things are not required, because if I think of that, I'll have to come back to be again that. So how to get out of all the attachments? In the sense, nothing, I should forget that I'm a qualified chartered accountant, which is not going to help me now. But still always that is there in mind. Oh, I'm a qualified person. Like that. That is there. How to forget that?
We will never forget, Prabhuji. All the impressions are permanent impressions, but we don't care about them. That is what happens when we become purified. Just like Yamunacharya says, when I remember my association with all the women, my lips curl in distaste and I spit at that thought. The impressions are there, the desires, the thoughts will come, but our response changes. Our response of, I don't care about them so much. I'm not disgusted, but I don't care about them. Okay, that was a part of my life. I don't care much. Now I care about Krishna. So that is what happens.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you so
Hare
much.
Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. I request Tiffany Mataji, you can ask a question.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, do you have time? We've been going for so long. Or is that okay to ask the question?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay, I'll first of all, I want to say thank you so very much for a gorgeous, gorgeous class. I'm so grateful for your class this morning. And there seems to be a theme amongst us asking questions today. And so I'm sorry if you feel like you've touched on what I'm about to ask already. But I just want to say thank you for everything you said about how we have to, as devotees, have faith in Krishna and be fearless. But my question is, how do we handle those times when we don't have faith in ourselves to practice devotional service properly? Thank you, Prabhuji.
Jnanavalambaka kechit karmavalambaka vayam tu haridasanam padatranavalambaka. Some people, they take shelter of jnana, knowledge, speculation. Some people take shelter of karma, fruitive activities. As far as devotees are concerned, he says, as far as I am concerned, I am taking shelter of the slippers of the devotees. footwear of the devotees. That is our hope. When we are losing our faith in ourselves, we have to hang on and take shelter of devotees. There is no other way. Even Sanatana Goswami had to go through this. He thought, my life is useless. I want to commit suicide. So it can go to like that extent. Even the Sambandha Acharya, Sanatana Goswami is Sambandha Acharya. He went through that problem. And that situation, somebody had to tell him, Mahaprabhu had to tell him that your body is my property. You can't do this. So many times, even after practicing for many, many decades, sometimes confusions, they overwhelm us. Our anarthas may overwhelm us. We have to continuously take shelter of devotees. It is not an option. It is not a emergency. Okay, when it is complete distressful situation, I'll go to devotees. We have to continuously take shelter of devotees. We have to continuously talk to them, reveal our hearts to them. That will save us in difficult situations. Those situations when we are really disturbed, faith, our faith gets shaken away. So we have to have someone who can tell us and bring us back. All the philosophy doesn't work that time. Only devotees save us. Because with our mind and intelligence, we cannot analyze the situation and come back. We need an external pull. And when Krishna sees that this person is really becoming humble, going to another devotee, he gives mercy. So it is very, very important to have faith in devotees, take their shelter, pray to them, pray to Krishna, pray to the Lord. I read a wonderful statement. Prayers are not a stepney wheel to be used in emergency. It is like a steering wheel which will guide us through our life, drive us through our life. Keep praying to Krishna, keep praying to devotees, reveal your heart, keep talking to devotees about our ups and downs. So that's how we have to invest in devotee association. That will save us. Even Bharat Maharaj fell down. He was at such a high stage because there was no devotee association. So however big one may be, we should have somebody with whom we can talk to anytime. And that person will not judge us. So that is the treasure of devotee's life. Sangha, sadhu sangha, Vaishnava sangha. So that is our shelter. That's what I can think of. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. I'm taking that to heart. I appreciate everything you just said. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
I request Gaurangi Mataji, you can ask your question.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Yes, your talk today has been very uplifting. I have I think it's a question / comment. You can correct if my thinking is wrong. So when one Mataji was speaking, she was saying that, she's doing so much. She's approaching 60, I think that was, Karpagavali Mataji, Dr. Karpagavali Mataji. And she was saying when will I have time to read all these books, even though she is reading so much. So when she was speaking like this, I was thinking that if we even spend the rest of our lives trying to absorb the meaning of one shastra, forgetting about so many other shastras, would Krishna not be pleased with that? Because otherwise it seems like, we're making this path into some kind of mechanical process where I have to check all these boxes. Have I, read these books? Have I, chanted, my rounds every day? Have I, done this seva or that seva? I feel like Krishna is more concerned with the mood in which we do these things rather than, have we, successfully completed, each and every activity. Like it's more about the absorption and the mood rather than the particular activities themselves. Something like that. I don't know what you would say to that. Not to minimize those things, I'm just saying I'm talking about the mood in which those things are done versus,
Yes,
the completion of those things.
True. Completely agree. It ultimately depends on the mood of a practitioner. So basic things we have to do for sure. But the mood is the eagerness to hear more about Krishna, to speak more, to absorb more. It is not about just reading more books. It is about reading more pastimes of Krishna, because that's what devotee is. Devotee never feels satisfied. O nama tripyet rasavit kathayam mahatamaikanta parayanasya harerudaram charitam vishuddham shushrushatam no vitanotu vitvan. Who can be satisfied reading about Krishna, hearing about Krishna? Ko nama tripyet. Who can be satisfied chanting? Who can be satisfied hearing, talking about Krishna? That's how Krishna Katha is. And that is the mood devotee has. I want to hear more and more. I want millions of tongues to chant. I want millions of ears to hear. That's what Rupa Goswami says. That's what Patu Maharaj is saying. So that's how a devotee feels always.
Yeah.
Krishna. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you so much, Prabhu.
Thank you so much, Mataji, for that. Yes, Prabhuji, we are done with that question. So, okay. There are no questions for that. We can end here. There is no chat questions as of now.
There are no questions.
Yes, Prabhu. Prabhu, one small clarification when you were answering, you said that you need someone who will not judge you. So this is again making us judge others. So this struggle is always there with all the devotees to find the right person, and also some seva is there. The seva, who is telling we should see, all those things are there. But a really surrendered devotee will not think all these things. Whatever seva comes, they will do. And whatever the devotee says, whether we won't judge, like whether he is a really elevated person or not. So how to really understand, or really is it the platform that we have to come out one day, all of these things?
Actually, yeah, this is a problem which everyone faces, when we are living in devotee community, when we have so many devotees with different opinions. So, a devotee should be honest, and a devotee should be firm. Honest in expressing that I am really now not able to do this. And firm not to, not to go beyond my limits and do something which will, destroy my enthusiasm. That happens sometimes. We do something, and then after doing that service, after some time, we think, I didn't want to do it. I was pushed into this. And later we blame people. So we should be honest enough. In the beginning years of Krishna consciousness, we just do what we are told to do, that we should do always. After spending few years in Krishna consciousness, we should start doing things which we like to do also. That sustains us. If we are just doing the things which we are told to do, then our enthusiasm goes away. Those things purify us, but to sustain us, we have to do things which we like to do in the process. So, that's how we have to see various services. I don't know if I'm answering your question. Can you just tell?
Yes, Prabhuji. Little bit we'll have to see, because ultimate goal is we should be going closer to Krishna. So there must not be anything that hinders that goal. So if something is disturbing and it is coming in between you and Krishna, then even if it is service, we'll have to be open, frank. Correct. Thank you.
Yeah, many times, devotees feel, what if I don't do this service, what will, this devotee say? Oh, he will not, I will think I am not running away from services, I'm not doing them. No, that is not the case. After a few years in Krishna consciousness, we should trust devotees for what they are doing. So we should not, think that if this devotee is saying no for services, that means he doesn't like to do services. No, that is not his nature now. He has some other priorities in life. We should not push a devotee, beyond his or her limits. If that person is not ready for that. So that's why we have to give some space to the devotees so that they can grow in their Krishna consciousness the way they want, the way they like. That is an actual leader. That requires a very, very mature leader to give space to the devotees so that they can explore how I want to serve Krishna. Or if devotee says, this is what I am telling you, you have to do this only, that person may do, but he may not grow. Because he is not putting his heart there. You may say, but that is what surrender means. We have to do the things which are told to us. Yes. But we cannot work, beyond our level of maturity and realization. We have to work at our level of maturity. If we are really mature enough, we will certainly do what we are told to do, even if we don't like that thing. But if I am grudgingly saying yes and, later cribbing, that will not, help me. That will not help the society. So that requires a mature leader to analyze and judge the situation. Hare Krishna.
Krishna, wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I'm speaking all of this. So, it is not that I'm on that level. I'm just repeating what I've heard, what I have understood. So please, all of you bless me so that I can also follow. One day, I may be able to follow whatever, we have heard, the words of acharyas. They are very long. There's a long way to go. So I am just speaking to remind myself. So thank you. So please correct me if anytime, if I am not speaking the right way. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Vandana Pranam, Gaurvilas to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for the wonderful class, Prabhuji. Thank you so much for your association and time. You are so busy, but still you came and you gave the class. Thank you so much.
Thank you for the service. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Your classes makes our thought process very clear. Really, every week it helps to come to the next one step ahead. Thank you so much for this wonderful lesson. Thank you.
Know that, but at least I get to remind myself. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Let's pay obeisance to
Vancha.
Prabhuji
Thank you
and
so
all
much.
Vaishnavas. Vancha
Vancha
kalpatarubhyascha
kalpatarubhyascha
Kripa
kripasindubhyascha
sindhubhyev
Sindhu
cha
Beheva
Patitana
Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo
Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha.
Shri Vaishnava
Shri
Ki Jai,
Prabhupada
Shri
ki
Prabhupada Ki
jai.
Jai, Srimad
Jai,
Bhagavatam Ki Jai.
Gaurvilas
Jai.
Prabhuji ki
Jai,
jai.
Thank you so
Great
much,
Guru
Prabhuji.
Thank you so
Prabhuji,
much,
Jai
Prabhuji.
Jai.
Jai,
Hare
Gauranga.
Krishna.
Nityananda.
Nityananda.